Hey guys, how you doing? All right, here we go. Hope you enjoyed your little break. All right. By the way, I have to keep my YouTube channel set to public so that you all can have access to it. I don't know a whole lot about YouTube. So if y'all have any suggestions on how we can keep it just with our group, I'm open for ideas. Unfortunately, there's some weirdos out there. Now, because it's just me talking and everything, y'all don't need to worry about that. But if you comment, then they can see that comment, is what I'm saying. So you may want to be kind of careful about commenting on the YouTube videos and revealing any like personal information and stuff like that. I'm trying to get rid of some of them that keep commenting weird stuff. I mean, nothing inappropriate, just, just, I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to get rid of them and block them and all that other good stuff. But in the meantime, I can't be there 100% of the time. So in the meantime, please be careful commenting on the actual YouTube videos. Excuse me, making sure that you don't put any personal information on there, okay? All right. So I'm not revealing the name of our school, where we live, or anything else, so I'm not worried about that. If they want to sit and watch math videos all day long, then that's their problem. All right, here we go. Okay, guys, we're going to not completely skip chapter 11. We're going to start with chapter 12 and then introduce chapter 11 in the middle of chapter 12. Okay, so we're going to kind of combine two chapters, but I'm starting with this one. I almost went a different route. This is how I've been doing this for years, and the other teacher before me has been doing it. And because of distance learning, this is going to be weird. Y'all are going to be using a protractor. Yeah, I know. Some of you don't have one. It's okay. I've taken that into consideration. I do not want your parents to run out and risk whatever to go to the store just for a silly protractor. If you've got one, fine. If they want to pick one up, fine. Okay? But I technically cannot expect all of you to do that. So your homework, a lot of times and some of the times, is just going to be doing something on IXL. For example, today I'm going to give you some information, some definitions. I'm going to show you how to use a protractor and how to measure an angle, but you're not doing any homework out of the book. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I'm just going to have you do for homework for, like today, I think it's three, I gotta see, 3 IXL links. They're not difficult. The measuring one may get y'all here and there, but it would anyway if we were doing it by hand, and then we'll talk about that later. But the other two, easy peasy. I was so mad because I was trying to find a harder one. I was like, let's just do it easy, okay? So for homework, there's no book work for today's assignment. Some of you probably will be just closing out this whole thing and going with the other, it's fine. I don't care. But your homework's going to be completing those 3, I believe it's 3, IXL links, okay? All right, so let's get started. And again, it's been a while. Y'all had this in 6th grade. I'm going to do it again now in a minute as a review. I took this from class when we were told to clean out our rooms like within a couple of hours. But there's no way I was going to be able to get one to all of y'all. So it is what it is. Okay, but y'all do need to know this before you next year and when you get to geometry in high school. So we're going to go ahead and start 12.1, basic geometry figures. Yes, I'll stop talking. Okay, geometry. What is geometry? Don't roll your eyes. Some of you I know are rolling your eyes. It is the study of points, lines, planes, and the figures they form. Basically, this is a crash course today. It's not even like my full-blown teaching of the lesson. So just definitions, and then we'll do a couple of examples and call it good. All right, point. All right, the point is the exact location in space. Oops. It's represented by a dot. For example, like dot A or something like that. It's no big deal. All right, line. It is, okay, this is important. It's the set. Some of these things I'm going to tell you is where you need to focus, okay? It's the set of points that extends infinitely in opposite directions. Okay, this is what's important right here, okay? You need to know the difference between line and all this other stuff, okay? Big time. You need to, and some of you probably remember this. It looks like this, with an arrow on either end, because it's a set of points that extends infinitely in opposite directions. Set of points, and it looks like this. That's because in geometry, it really is like 1,000,000 points. Those are points, 1,000,000 little points. So it's a set of points that extends infinitely. See these arrows? Goes on and on and on forever in opposite directions. It is important that you know this, okay? And let's say we have line AB. You must write it that way. It is written this way. If you just write AB, wrong. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next thing. And I'm going to hit pause for just a second. Okay, I'm back. And so is my cat. There. Okay. Anyway, so back to this. All right, so line. We talked about what a line is, and here's the way you write it. Always, always, always. It has 2 arrows. The next is going to be a plane. It is a flat surface that extends infinitely in all directions. It's a flat surface that extends infinitely in all directions. For example, it looks like this. Any flat surface. And it extends infinitely in all directions. A, B, C. Okay. So, let's see, we did that. Okay, line segment. I'm just going to start writing. My cat's tearing the place up. He's getting jealous. Okay, so I talked to you about a line, and it's called line AB. That's how you read it. That's how you read it. So, line segment. Okay, line segment, it's just that, it's a segment. It looks like this. See that? No arrows. Sometimes you can even do it like this. No arrows. But this one is the preferred way. It is line segment, that's a G, BC. That's how you read that. Line segment BC. It must be written this way. Must be written this way. It could also be written like this. This right here is a line segment. Up here, a line would be written like this. AB, for line AB. See that? Look at where I've written these, how I've written them. That's the symbol. Line segment BC, this is the symbol. Now, ray. Y'all remember ray? Y'all should. Something like this. Your endpoint is always mentioned first. So it would look like this. That's supposed to be an arrow. Like that, with B being first. If you were to write it like this, C, B, like that, that's wrong. Because C cannot be first because it is not an endpoint. Okay? The endpoint must come first. Endpoint must come first. And it is read Ray B C. Okay? All right. Next, an angle. It is a geometric figure made up of two rays that have a common endpoint. Okay? For example, looks like that. A, B, C. Okay? Now, some things you need to know. Vertex. It is the common endpoint of two rays. That right there. The endpoint, or the vertex, is B. So in this case, it's B. Okay, the vertex, B. On the IXL, you're going to have some questions like that. All right, naming angles. You need to always have this, this sign before the letters. Right there. And this would be written A, B, C. Okay, angle A, B, C. You must have that angle there, that symbol. Otherwise, just A, B, C. Okay, you must have that. Now, the second thing that's important is always make the vertex the middle letter. Always make the vertex the middle letter. For example, that, see that B? And that vertex. It could be angle ABC or angle CBA. Either one is okay. Those are stars. but the vertex must always be in the middle. Okay? Now, sometimes if you have one angle, just one, you can use the vertex. To name it. And it would be vertex B in our case. Now, I don't know how IXL feels about that. I don't like it. I don't like it because kids will start using it when I have a million, when you got to choose from different angles and you have more than one angle, they want to just tell me it's B, and it's wrong. And so I really hate that. I really want you guys to use this method because this could get you a wrong answer. Okay? It could get you a wrong answer. So unless you only have one angle in your homework or something like that, like I said, I don't know how IXL feels about it. My Excel may be okay, and IXL is national, so who knows? But sometimes it's wrong, especially if you have more than one angle. Okay, so names of angles or measures of angles. You have acute, again, all stuff y'all learned last year. Acute angle, it's cute. It is less than 90 degrees. And it's going to be, you know, some little thing, okay? Obtuse, which is greater than 90. And then right, which is 90 degrees. And typically, they'll have this little box there to tell you it's a 90-degree angle. Okay? The last one is a straight angle. And it is 180 degrees. Okay? So make sure you understand those. That's big time, big time, big time. Okay, guys, go ahead, open up your books. We're going to run through these. Page 488. 488. Okay, even though you're not having this stuff for homework, I do want to go over it so that you understand what it all is. All right, number 2. It says name all the following found in the figure using the letters D, E, and F. Okay, so look at the picture on number 2. They want you to list all the lines. And see, you're not in there, so you're not sitting here in front of me, so I'm just going to start writing the answers, and you can see why. Okay? So all the lines in that figure are going to be line DE. Notice my symbols. EF and DF. Those are your 3 lines. Okay? 4 says segments. Well, same thing. DE. But the symbol's different. This is a symbol for segments. EF and DF. All right, number 6. Draw and label following geometric figures. They want you to draw and label line segment. That's a segment. So you would draw it like this. You have to have your endpoints. Those are endpoints. LM. That's what a line segment looks like. Okay? 8. This is a ray. Okay, now this is important. Notice the beginning of the ray or the arrow is with what letter? Y. I always put my lines there to denote a Z. Notice right here, this is important. Otherwise, it will be wrong. Okay? And if y'all didn't watch this whole video, I'll certainly know. Okay. 10. It says, use the figure to the right. Name a segment with endpoint C. Okay. It can be BC or AB or AC. Any of those. Okay, all it says, name a segment with endpoint C. Whoops, that's not endpoint C. That's what one of my students did last year. Shame, shame, shame. Okay, so here we have an endpoint of C here and here, so that's, I think y'all get it. All right, 12. It says, name the sides and vertex of the angle. Sides and vertex of the angle. So you're looking at that figure to the right. The sides of an angle are the rays. So you have Q, ray QP, and ray QR. Notice which letter comes first. Me and my poor 6th graders, when I was doing this with them, they would put PQ or RQ, but remember, they also said name the vertex. The vertex is Q. That's your vertex. So your vertex is always first with that end of the ray. Look at the drawing and look at the answers. I have to count that wrong if y'all do it, if you flip it. If you write PQ and the beginning of the arrow or the ray is over the P, I have to count it as wrong, so be very careful with that. 14. It says find the measure of the following angles and classify each according to its angle measure. Oh, great. Okay, so 14, so I'll do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, y'all ready? Okay, since you're not doing the work in the book, you can actually see the answers. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to zoom in. Yep, you can see the answers. It's okay because y'all are not doing this book work. Whoa. That'll be good enough. Okay, so here you go. Yes. This because there's only, ooh, that's a big finger. This because there's only one angle, you can say angle E. You can also write it as, oh, they want just the measure of the angle. Okay, so this time they're saying the measure, ooh, that's a big finger. The measure of angle E is 92 degrees and it's obtuse. This is ridiculous because 92, you got to be really careful with that so that you get it right. So what you're going to do is put your vertex. Your vertex is right there in the middle. That one line is going along that line on my protractor. See that line right there? I'm lining up the hole right there on the vertex. All right, now, of course, y'all can't see anything. We're looking at this line right here, and it goes right to, okay, this is not working. All right, hold on. This is ridiculous. I hate distance learning. All right. Okay, I'm just going to draw it. Let me just show you how to do these angles. Forget 14, 15, 16. I'm just going to draw some angles. This is how you do it. Oh, I have to zoom out. Here I thought I was going to be done in that. Got no time for Minecraft or anything. All right, So let's say there. Now y'all have already had this last year, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. All right, here's your angle. Just by looking at it, this is not 14, by the way. I just drew a random angle. Just by looking at it, we know it's obtuse. Okay? It is obtuse. You can lay your protractor down. This is much better. We'll just do it my way. All right. So I've got the vertex right there in the center. The bottom ray is hitting right there. Now notice you've got 2 rows of numbers. You start at 0. Wherever your ray is facing, you start at 0, go along the top. Go along the top till you get here, and this is in between 120, 130. If I'm like, man, I don't know what that is. That's too, that's tough. I can extend my arrow or my ray. Go back. All right, now look at it. If you need to extend your arrows, just do it carefully. It's between 120 and 130. This would be 125. So what line is right before 125? Remember 120, 130? That would be 140. 140. 124. Stop laughing, some of y'all. I hear you. Okay, that's 124 degrees. Okay, 124 degrees. Pause it and look at it. It's between 120 and 130. This line right here is 125. It's going right over 124 degrees. That's obtuse. Now, what if I had this bad boy? All right. This time the arrow is going this way. Put it on there. Oh, I still don't know where it's hitting. So I'm going to extend that again. Look at there. All right. Now, just by looking at this, is that an obtuse or acute? It's an acute. It's less than 90 degrees. This other one, that's greater than 90 degrees. So that's an obvious obtuse. That is an obvious acute. So if I were to put this on here, is it going to be around 130? No, it's not, because it's an acute angle. If you put down 132 or something like that, you're wrong. That is not a 132 degree angle. Use common sense here. But to know the bottom or the top, look at my bottom ray. It's pointing right here. 0. You always start at 0. Go across the bottom row. Oh, look, I'm between 40 and 50. This is 45, 46, 47, 48 degrees. That is 48 degrees because it's between 40 and 50. We're getting larger. Here's 45, 46, 47, 48 degrees. Now, let's say you got to do it this way, upside down. You certainly can. This time, I've got the vertex here, and I've got this going on the bottom. Again, it's pointing where you start at the 0, go along the top, and look at there. Between 40 and 50, I would extend it, and you would have 48. Okay? This is going to take some time to get used to. All right? This is going to take some time to get used to. But that's why I got you doing the IXL, because it's going to help. So 14, if you look, I already told you the answer. Look at 15. Look at that angle. Okay, first of all, I want to know, is that an acute or obtuse angle? Number 15, that's an acute angle. If you had a protractor and you measured it, it would be 41 degrees. Look at 16. Is that an obtuse or acute? That's obtuse. And it's 152 degrees if you were to measure it, okay? I can't, with this little bitty thing, I need a whole board, so it'd be weird. All right, let's look at 22. Well, 22 is also doing a bunch of measuring. All right, so I'm going to stop right there because the rest is going to be just practicing with the protractor, all of which you guys are going to be doing in on IXL, okay? It's going to be a lot of practicing. So for homework, guys, I believe it's 3 links. So it's going to be IXL. It is due tomorrow. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do book work. And like I said, some are really easy. I do want Smart Score. I'll do Smart Score to 80 just because I love y'all. Okay, Smart Score to 80. If you reach 80, you get 100 on your homework. Not too bad, okay? So as far as your quiz, I believe it's Monday. You are going to have some other homework in IXL, but I'm not assigned that yet because I've got to look to see if any of it requires protractors and stuff. Otherwise, I'll just use that as homework and not your book work, okay? All right, if you have any questions or if this homework here is confusing to you, you need to let me know, and I'll explain it to you, okay? Take care, guys. Bye-bye.